Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver a keynote address virtually at the high-level segment of United Nations Economic and Social Council session this evening. Session to focus on multilateralism after COVID-19, which resonates with India's Security Council priority of reformed multilateralism. Defence Minister reaches Srinagar after reviewing preparedness of armed forces at Pangong Tso in Ladakh. Assures not 1 inch of our land can be taken by any power in the world. Praises troops for not only protecting borders but also being the pride of 130 crore Indians. Pakistan continues with its nefarious plans to support and promote terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. 3 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists, including a Pakistani commander, killed in an encounter with security forces in Kulgam. Search operation underway. Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to co-chair second India-US Strategic Energy Partnership Ministerial Meeting along with US Secretary of Energy. Dialogue to be held through video conferencing. Flood and landslide situation continues to remain grim in Assam with over 97 people dead. Heavy rains continue to lash Mumbai and coastal Maharashtra. Several low-lying areas waterlogged after hours of incessant rains. COVID recovery rate continues to improve across India and rises to over 63% with more than 6.35 lakh recoveries. Active cases stand at 3.4 lakh with over 25,000 fatalities. Case fatality rate is one of the lowest in the world. And several states impose lockdown to curb the spread of the virus. Goa goes into complete lockdown till Sunday. Several parts of Odisha to be locked down from tonight for 14 days. Uttarakhand decides to impose complete lockdown over weekends. Namaskar. You're with the latest here on DD News and DD India. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver a keynote address at this year's high-level segment of the United Nations Economic and Social Council session on Friday at the United Nations in New York. The PM will be speaking at the valedictory session along with the Prime Minister of Norway and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Prime Minister Modi has tweeted about it as well and said, and I quote, "At 8:30 this evening, I would be addressing the high-level segment of ECOSOC. Would be speaking on various issues, including this year's theme of multilateralism after COVID-19 at a time when we mark 75 years of the UN." Now, the theme of this year's high-level segment is multilateralism after COVID-19. What kind of UN do we need at the 75th anniversary? Set against the changing international environment and the COVID-19 pandemic, this session will focus on critical forces shaping the course of multilateralism and explore ways to bolster the global agenda through strong leadership, effective international institutions, a broadening of participation and enhanced significance of global public good. This will be the first opportunity for Prime Minister Modi to address the broader UN membership since India's overwhelming election as a non-permanent member of the Security Council on the 17th of June for the term that extends from 2021 to 22. And in other important developments, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh is on a 2-day visit to Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. On the first day of the visit, Rajnath Singh reached Leh. He was accompanied by Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat and Army Chief General M.M. Narwane. Rajnath Singh reached Ladakh this morning and visited the frontier posts and interacted with the Jawans and officers of the Indian Army in Lukung Post. Rajnath Singh also interacted with Jawans as well. In view of the standoff with China on the border, the Defence Minister is on a Ladakh visit to carry out comprehensive security review. Addressing the Army and ITBP Jawans at a forward post on the banks of Pangong Lake, Rajnath Singh said that India is not a weak country and no power in the world can touch even an inch of India's land.
नरेंद्र मोदी जैसा प्रधानमंत्री हमको मिला है, फैसला लेने, दृढ़ इच्छा शक्ति का प्रधानमंत्री। हमारे स्वाभिमान पर कोई चोट नहीं पहुंचा सकता। राष्ट्रीय स्वाभिमान ये हमारी पूंजी है।
And the Raksha Mantri said that India wants peace and not instability, but if anyone tries to hurt India's self-respect and pride, then India will not tolerate this in any way and will give a befitting reply.
भारत दुनिया का इकलौता देश है जिसने सारे विश्व को शांति का संदेश दिया है। भारत दुनिया का इकलौता देश है जिसने कि दुनिया के किसी देश पर न तो कभी आक्रमण किया है और न दुनिया के किसी देश की 1 इंच जमीन पर कभी कब्जा किया है। भारत दुनिया का यह इकलौता देश है जिसने भारत की सीमा में रहने वाले लोगों को ही अपने परिवार का सदस्य नहीं माना है, बल्कि पूरे विश्व की धरा पर रहने वाले लोगों को अपने परिवार का सदस्य मानते हुए वसुधैव कुटुंबकम का संदेश सारे विश्व को किसी एक देश ने दिया है तो हमारे और आपके देश भारत ने दिया है। हम अशांति नहीं चाहते, हम शांति चाहते हैं। हमारा चरित्र रहा है कि हमने दुनिया के किसी भी देश के स्वाभिमान पर चोट पहुंचाने की कभी कोशिश नहीं की। लेकिन यह भी मैं कह देना चाहता हूं 2 टूक शब्दों में, यदि कोई दुनिया की ताकत हमारे स्वाभिमान पर चोट पहुंचाने की कोशिश करेगी तो उसे किसी भी सूरत में हम बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे, उसका हम मुंहतोड़ जवाब देने के लिए भी तैयार रहेंगे।
And the Defence Minister also paid tributes to the 20 soldiers who were martyred during the violent clash with Chinese army in Galwan Valley on the 15th of June. He added that the sacrifice of our Jawans will not go in vain.
हाल में ही भारत और चीन के जवानों के बीच PP-14 पर जो कुछ भी हुआ, उसमें हमारे कुछ जवानों ने अपना बलिदान देते हुए अपनी सीमा की सुरक्षा की है। उनके खोने का गम है, आपसे मिलने की खुशी है। मैं उनकी स्मृति को स्मरण करना चाहता हूं, उनकी स्मृति को नमन करता हूं, उन्हें मैं हृदय से श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं और मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि हिंदुस्तान उनकी शहादत को कभी भूलेगा नहीं। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी आकर 2 टूक शब्दों ने कहा है कि उनकी वह शहादत, उनका वह बलिदान किसी भी सूरत में व्यर्थ नहीं जाएगा। मैं कह सकता हूं कि आप लोगों ने केवल भारत की सीमा की सुरक्षा नहीं की है, बल्कि भारत के 130 करोड़ भारतवासियों के सम्मान की आपने सुरक्षा की है।
And Rajnath Singh also said that talks are underway to resolve the standoff in eastern Ladakh, but to what extent it will be resolved cannot be guaranteed.
इस समय सीमा के विवाद को सुलझाने के लिए बातचीत का दौर चल रहा है। जो कुछ अब तक की प्रगति हुई है बातचीत की, मामला हल होना चाहिए। लेकिन कहां तक हल होगा, अभी इस संबंध में मैं पूरे कोई गारंटी नहीं दे सकता हूं। लेकिन मैं इतना यकीन दिलाना चाहता हूं कि भारत की 1 इंच जमीन को भी दुनिया की कोई ताकत छू नहीं सकती है, उस पर कब्जा नहीं कर सकती। लेकिन बातचीत के द्वारा यदि समाधान निकलता है तो इससे अच्छी बात और कोई दूसरी नहीं हो सकती है। वह सिलसिला चल रहा है, मिलिट्री लेवल पर भी बातचीत चल रही है, डिप्लोमेटिक बातचीत भी चल रही है।
The Defence Minister also witnessed a military drill involving a fleet of attack helicopters, tanks, infantry combat vehicles and ground commandos at a high-altitude forward base at Tikse, Rambipur in Leh. And after a day-long visit to Ladakh, the Raksha Mantri has reached Srinagar. Here, he has been briefed on the latest security situation with senior top military officials. He is taking a review meeting on the Amarnath Yatra with Lieutenant Governor of the Union Territory of J&K as well. And let's now move to all the updates that are coming in from Jammu and Kashmir as well. At least 3 terrorists have been gunned down in an encounter with security forces in Kulgam. The encounter started between the terrorists and security forces at Nagnath Chimar area of Kulgam in South Kashmir this morning. State forces launched a cordon search operation in Nagnath Chimar area of Kulgam after receiving specific information about the presence of terrorists there. The search operation turned into an encounter after the terrorists opened fire at a search party. One terrorist has been identified as Waleed, who is a Pakistani national.
एक मिलिटेंट का पहचान हुआ जो बहुत फेमस था, जैश का कमांडर वलीद भाई पाकिस्तान का है और पिछले 1.5 साल से यहाँ एक्टिव है और ये आईडी एक्सपर्ट भी है। अभी तक हमारे कॉर्डन से इनकाउंटर से 4 बार भागने में कामयाब होगा। रिसेंटली जो इनकाउंटर में भाग गया था उसमें ये सब टीका गन जो मशीन गन था मिला था उन लोगों को। ये मोस्ट वांटेड टेररिस्ट था और ये इसके मारे जाने से पुलिस में सिक्योरिटी फोर्स में एक अच्छी खुशी जाहिर किया है और ये बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट है।
So there you have it. Our forces completely prepared, be it anywhere in those 2 union territories of Ladakh or in Jammu and Kashmir, to take on any challenge posed by enemies. We'll take a quick break at this moment, and after that we'll get an update on what's happening as far as the Indo-US energy dialogue is concerned. Stay tuned.
बिजली तूफान जीवन एवं संपत्ति के लिए जोखिम भरे हो सकते हैं। मौसम की जानकारी लेते रहें और तूफान के दौरान अंदर रहें। लेकिन सिर्फ अंदर जाना काफी नहीं है। आपको सुरक्षित रहने के लिए सावधानी बरतनी होगी। खिड़की दरवाजों से दूर रहें, उन्हें बंद रखें तथा बालकनी, बरामदे और छत पर ना जाएं। पाइपलाइन तथा नल बिजली आकर्षित कर सकते हैं। मौसम खराब होने पर इन्हें न छुएं। नहाएं नहीं तथा हाथ, कपड़े, बर्तन इत्यादि न धोएं। तार वाले फोन का उपयोग न करें। दीवार आउटलेट से नहीं जुड़े कॉर्डलेस और मोबाइल फोन का उपयोग कर सकते हैं। बैटरी बचाने के लिए SMS का प्रयोग करें। बिजली तूफान से पहले सभी विद्युत उपकरणों के प्लग निकाल दें और AC बंद कर दें। लगे हुए विद्युत उपकरण या तारों के संपर्क से बचें। आपातकालीन स्थिति में तुरंत प्राथमिक उपचार दें और एम्बुलेंस बुलाएं या अस्पताल ले जाएं। तैयारी में ही समझदारी। NDMA एवं IIPHG द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
Welcome back. Now, Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will be co-chairing the second India-US Strategic Energy Partnership Ministerial meeting along with US Secretary of Energy Dan Brouillette as the 2 nations seek to bolster energy cooperation. The meeting was originally scheduled to be held in Washington in April this year, but it got postponed due to the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. As a run-up to the dialogue, both the leaders participated in an industry-level event on Wednesday where Petroleum Minister Pradhan invited the US companies and investors to engage and invest in India in new opportunities. Now, the SEP has 4 primary pillars of cooperation: oil and gas, power and energy efficiency, renewable energy and sustainable growth. Cooperation in natural gas sector has been identified as a priority area between India and the US. India is expecting investment of over $118 billion in oil and gas exploration, as well as in setting up natural gas infrastructure, including development of gas supply and distribution networks in the next 5 years. The Government of India in February 2018 had elevated the India-US energy dialogue to a strategic energy partnership, that's the SEP that I'm talking about, to be co-chaired by the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and his US counterpart, which is the US Secretary of Energy. The SEP was formally announced during the visit of Prime Minister Modi to the US in June 2017, and the first ministerial meeting was held in New Delhi in April 2018. Now let's get into an update on how the monsoon has travelled and where all it is raining down really hard, where the flood situation in many districts of Bihar remains grim. The Gandak, Budi Gandak, Bagmati, Adwara, Kamla Balan, Kosi, Mahananda and Paraman rivers are flowing above the danger mark. Floods have worsened due to the rising water levels of Kosi and Bagmati rivers in the low-lying areas of Khagaria district. In western Champaran's Bagaha, due to the overflowing Masan river, half a dozen villages are under threat of being affected. More than 2 lakh people have already been affected due to the floods. Rescue operations have been on at full swing, and they've led to the evacuation of more than 3,000 people so far. And on the other hand, the Met Department has predicted light rain in the catchment areas of all the rivers of Bihar for today. And the flood situation in Assam has also deteriorated in many of its parts as the number of affected people has risen to around 40 lakh. Over 3,000 villages in 27 districts are still reeling under flood waters. With 5 more deaths reported on Thursday, flood-induced fatality in the state has reached 71 this year. Add to this the deaths due to landslides, the number now totals 97. Now, as the situation stands, Dhubri district is the worst hit, followed by Barpeta, Gwalpara and Morigaon, with about 4 lakh affected people in each district. Meanwhile, rescue operation teams of the NDRF and SDRF are continuing their operations, and they've shifted 2,737 marooned people to safer places. Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal has visited and interacted with inhabitants of flood relief camps in Nagaon district. He has also visited Kaziranga National Park to take stock of the flood situation.
This is a 3rd wave of flood. In this situation, the people of Assam in the 28 district, they have to suffer, and they have lost their cultivable land, their household properties, and also more than 80 lives in both flood, erosion and landsliding. So this is the situation in the state of Assam. But though we are to fight simultaneously against COVID-19 as well as flood and erosion.
So a twin battle, one against the waters and the other against the virus, right now raging in large parts of the country, particularly in Assam and Bihar. We're taking a quick break now. Be back with more updates. Stay tuned.
Drop, cover, hold, hold.
Hey Akshay, has everyone understood? Good, very good. Let's do it again. When an earthquake strikes, go to an open place. If you cannot, then first drop down,
Cover your head, hold on to something tightly, or go to a safe corner and cover your head. Learn to protect yourself during an earthquake. Your wisdom lies in your preparedness. Always ensuring your safety. NDMA.
Welcome back. Now, with Kaziranga National Park getting flooded, Assam Forest Department along with National Tiger Conservation Authority of the Government of India has been successfully rescuing wildlife every day since the floods hit the park. Forest officials with assistance from civil admin are providing veterinary services as well to the affected animals. Creation of highlands has largely benefited the rescue work. Flood management plan has also been put in place to safeguard the animals. And in a tweet, Union Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Prakash Javadekar said, and I quote, "Happy to note that so far we have been able to rescue 121 animals in Kaziranga. Creation of highlands was a key initiative undertaken by the Modi government during the last 5 years. This year also we are creating more to save the precious wildlife." And in more rains and monsoon-related updates, more than 191 millimeters of rain has been reported in the last 24 hours as heavy rains continue to lash Mumbai and coastal Maharashtra. Several low-lying areas reported waterlogging after hours of incessant rain. The BEST has diverted bus routes due to waterlogged roads. Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation has warned residents to stay away from the shore and not venture into waterlogged areas. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, the rest of India's west coast will also experience heavy showers. IMD has forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall likely over several parts of Maharashtra, parts of Gujarat and Goa over the next , 2 next 2 few hours. 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 2 In Rajasthan, hearing before the Assembly Speaker has been deferred to 5 p.m. as a division bench of the Rajasthan High Court is slated to hear the petition filed by Sachin Pilot and 18 other Congress MLAs against disqualification notices issued to them. Meanwhile, the division bench of the Rajasthan High Court is hearing a petition filed by Sachin Pilot and 18 other Congress MLAs against disqualification notices issued to them by the Assembly Speaker. Pilot and others approached the Rajasthan High Court over disqualification notice seeking the quashing and setting aside of the show cause notice issued to them on the 14th of July by the Speaker of the Rajasthan Assembly. MLAs were asked to present before Assembly Speaker by Friday. Let's now take a look at the COVID-19 updates coming in from across the country, where a total of 6.35 lakh people have recovered from the disease. According to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, a total of 6,35,756 people infected with the coronavirus have recovered across the country so far. And with this, the recovery rate has reached 63.33%. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 3,42,437. Meanwhile, the Indian Council for Medical Research, ICMR, has said that a total of 3,33,228 tests of coronavirus samples have been conducted by various laboratories within the last 24 hours. This is the highest number of tests conducted by laboratories in one day since the outbreak of COVID-19 in the country. So far, 1,30,72,718 tests have been conducted. And further, according to the central government's health ministry, continuous decline has been recorded in daily growth rate of COVID-19 cases from 31.28% at the beginning of April to 3.49% in mid-July. Rising recovery rate from 52% in mid-June to more than 63% in mid-July is aiding continuous decline of COVID-19 active cases. But on the other hand, in Odisha, state government has announced 14-day complete lockdown in parts of the state starting from 9 p.m. today. The decision was taken in the wake of rising coronavirus cases in certain districts. The complete lockdown will be imposed and it will be there in Ganjam, Khordha, Cuttack, Jajpur districts as well as Rourkela Municipal Corporation area till the 31st of July midnight. And during this lockdown, all shops, offices and institutions will remain closed and mobility of people will be restricted. However, some central government offices including post offices, telecom offices will be exempted from the restrictions, while operations in airports, railway stations and bus terminals will be allowed to be permitted. Public transport and private vehicles will also to and from airports and railway station and bus terminals will be allowed for facilitating movement of passengers. Meanwhile, shops selling medicines, vegetables, groceries, milk will be allowed to remain open from 6 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. Also, home delivery of essential food items will be allowed. And that's all we have at the moment in this edition of the news. For all the latest, stay tuned to DD News and DD India.